and I might step on a lot of people their toes, but there are not a lot of multimillionaires that are stoners. Okay, Snoop Dogg, but name a lot of other people that are stoners, very highly stoners, that are not in the industry of stoners, you know, real out of the industry. So there are not a lot of people. And the thing is, with all due respect, I'm from Holland, I lived for 30 years in Holland, but when I saw people at 10 o'clock in front of the coffee shop, if you're not familiar with coffee shop, is the place where you can buy marijuana, and all those people that I saw on welfare, well, there is some sort of habit that comes along with not developing a life of growth, a mindset of growth. And yes, did I smoke a lot of mara? Boatloads. But I always kept busy. And there's a small percentage who really stayed busy. Could I have accomplished way much more without the marijuana? Definitely. And this is the thing with medicines and marijuana. You're driving around on the handbrake, you know. So yeah, when you put on a temporarily plaster to soften your pain, to escape a little bit reality, and finance the pharmaceutical industry, that is all great. But if you're really gonna be honest to yourself and look in the mirror, you know it's a temporary thing. The medicines will work out, the marijuana will go out of your blood, and it's all fun what they say about, hey, you know, also when it's about microdosing, you know, the mushroom stuff, you know, that's all those latest trends. But who is talking about it anymore? And it was the whole trend. All those big people talk about microdosing. You know what? If you do it, go all the way. I did a lot of hallucinating on mushrooms, but it was way before the internet trends. Been there, done that. So I'm like always, I'm not talking down on them, but the thing is, people who actually want to get out of the 9-to-5 rat race don't look for trends and things to escape reality. Just face reality with discipline. And like I said, start engaging with the world. Think about I'm actually thinking now for a very good example. Yeah, so for example, I saw a father and his wife and their daughter, and I think also there was a son, eating a pizza, totally grumpy, shouting. And you know, then I think, you know, are they so happy? You know, think about other people, you know, just observe them instead of your own thoughts, because at one point, and we all been there, done that, the thing is, your thoughts, you can keep on thinking about it, all the so-called troubles that you have, and if you're really honest about it, they're all in your own head. The real trouble hasn't arrived yet. Yes, of course, in the morning you're in pain, you have a little bit heartbreak, but the moment you get out of your own head by engaging with the world, go outside now. Look at the trees, look at the leaves. The leaves will fall in the fall from the trees. You know, you need to get rid of the old and replace it with the new. It's the same with your thoughts. Try to replace your thoughts, and in the beginning nothing is easy, but just try it. Start studying animals, look at the birds, listen to the birds, look at your own things. You know, I talked about this before also, all the things that do work very properly at the moment. So your body, your fingers, your nails, they're growing. You don't have to do anything for it. Yeah, you have to feed it, but besides that, you know, it's not like you have to work incredibly hard for it. Your heart is pumping, you know, your lungs. And of course, if you were very in a negative mood, and you would say, yeah, but oh, everything is so bad. You know, everything is so bad, but it's not. All those fingers that you have, the toes, everything is working, you know. Not only your toes, your knees, your hips. You know, I'm grateful for everything. Being grateful is also another one. You know, at one point everything isn't so bad as most normal people think. You know, the 9-to-5ers, the 9-to-5ers, and then complain about the government and all that kind of stuff. Complaining is going nowhere unless you do something about it. And it's the same with, okay, another thing. I had in this Airbnb was an activist, but this activist sleeps the whole day, so he's not so active. Eh? And then claims that the world needs to change, but while sleeping. So if you actually, try to get people on board of some sort of idea, or even worse, force people up on towards some kind of thinking. See, I'm not forcing anybody. I'm just giving you some guidelines to live a life a little bit more of freedom. And a lot of people will always find something so they don't have to put in the work. So for example, this inbred man, he said, again, mentioned this in the beginning, he said, yeah, but Alan, I don't want to walk around and meet all day people. No, but I have the choice. I have the freedom to do this. I can also lay down the whole day in the bed and just work from my phone. I do everything from the phone. I figured everything out. And the thing is, the things that I'm doing are pretty complicated, but to get started is so incredibly easy. I shared multiple strategies already. I'm giving away those scenarios so you can automate it. I don't charge anything. The moment that you want to do something with me, then we can make money together. But until that time, you're not having this mindset yet, the skill set, or let's say also the persistence, to buy it through, to make something happen from the ground up. And that's why I'm giving those things away, so that you come back later to me, we work together and we make more money. Simple, very transparent about that one. And that also keeps me going, And also, let's think about another example. Yeah, I talked with a guy on the training spot, and I asked him, he has his family, his mother, his brother, and if you're watching this, I'm not mentioning your name, but I was very surprised by that. He said, no, I'm not grateful for the fact that my mother wiped my ass, gave me a roof above my head. And I thought, wow, if he thinks like this, then there are probably millions of people who also think like this. But if you don't, if you cannot even be grateful for that, that your mother wiped your ass, gave a roof above your head, and maybe if she didn't, then you maybe have a stepmother, she did it. My stepmother did. She wiped my ass, and when she died 16 years ago, I still very grateful for everything. And when my father died also, very grateful for that they did their best in their own best way possible. And I'm very grateful for it every single day. Otherwise I would not even be alive, I think, if they didn't pick me up. I think like this. So if you cannot be grateful for the basics that you already have, like I said, your body, you probably go to the supermarket, give a compliment and be grateful, show a little bit gratitude to your and to the parents that you have, or maybe the people who raising you raising you now. If you cannot be grateful for that, then how can you be granted something, right? I always believe, I do believe that when you're grateful for something that you already have, then bigger things can come to you. And is this about that you really do something to get something? No, but I do believe that it will come to you if you put in the real work. And from the 100% effort that you put in, don't expect anything, but if you get 1%, let's say, return on your 100% investment, it's more than enough. And if not, it means you have to do more your best. And that's why my vlogs are so versatile and diverse, the topic that I'm talking about. But I believe there is a whole palette, a whole colorful and diverse palette of characteristics that comes with growth. I'm going to give you a very simple example. When I was 25, or no, maybe 26, I had boatload of people also working for me. I was the worst manager on the planet. Okay, that's maybe not true on the planet, but I was too humane. I took them for dinners, I barbecues behind the shop, and everybody who's watching this, it's true. And not only that, on the side, organizing for the homeless people drinking parties for free. But I'm not saying how good I am. No, I was an idiot. So I can say that, when it's managing wise. So I didn't have that skill. I didn't have somebody to tell me about this. Managing people, setting boundaries. That's why I'm talking about the red flags about people, the characteristics, you know, that you have to be careful with, especially when you grow financially. Maybe you start a business, all of a sudden you have more and more friends. You have to be careful, and especially when you let's say young and totally hyperactive,